Hello and welcome to my video today. I'm going to be covering the windshield washer fluid on the Fisker Ocean. I did do a video earlier in the year on how to refill the washer fluid reservoir. Today I'm going to show how to change out the fluid if you need to. In my area right now, it's heading towards winter and the temperatures are dropping. I don't know what's in the windshield washer reservoir. It's what came with the vehicle. So I am curious to see what it's like. So I'm going to extract the fluid and check it out. And I'm going to replace it with winter -20°F washer fluid, and I should be good. So this video is how to do that on your Fisker Ocean. So let's get started. This is what I'm going to be using to get all of the washer fluid out of the tank. This is an inexpensive fluid extractor pump that will do the job. These are commonly available for under $10 on Amazon. Let me open it up and show you what it looks like. It has a number of different components. I think the one that is going to make the most sense is the tube right here. So this tube, along with the pump itself, I am going to attach that, and then this should be long enough to reach down into the tank and get all of the washer fluid. All right, I think this just gets inserted right here. And then we have the tube, and then you just pull on the handle like this, and that will suck the fluid out. May need to do it a couple times since this holds about 200 milliliters, but I'm curious to see what the fluid looks like when we get it. All right, we have the hood open, and what we're looking for is the tank that's right here. So that's the reservoir for the washer fluid right there. There's a tube with that arrow on it, and that is what we're going to be taking out to access the inside of that tank. Here is the pump that we're going to be using and the hose. So I'm going to get that ready right there. I am now going to reach inside. All right, I have pulled out the hose. If you can see, yep, you can see it now. I am going to lower the tube in there. Now I'm going to pull on the plunger and see what I get. Now I'm going to keep doing it until I drain the entire tank. An alternative way of doing this would be using the washer button on the stalk and then just keep repeatedly doing it until you use up all of the fluid. That is a way you can do it without using this pump. And if you have a fairly empty tank, that's probably going to be a fast way of doing it. However, I wanted to do this. I just want to test accessing the tank from under the hood. All right, one last time. I heard air getting sucked in, so I think we were near the bottom. So let me do one last check here. Yep, we are done. I have drained the full tank. So here we go. We have a 3-gallon bucket here, and it appears about 1 gallon of fluid was in the tank. And I noticed as I was pumping it out, it was lighter on top. And as I got to the bottom, it was darker. But this is what it looks like. So it looks like normal wiper fluid. I've seen it in different colors. Sometimes it's orange, sometimes it's more red. It could be even blue. I've seen all different colors of it. Yeah, so I'm guessing it still was the original fluid in here and not just water. And yes, I can smell it, and it's definitely that chemical smell. However, I don't know exactly what type of fluid this was, if it was summer or winter. In any case, I'm going to fill up the tank with brand new fluid. I happen to get this windshield washer fluid that is for winter. It's good to -20, which is more than enough for my region since we hardly ever get below 10 degrees Fahrenheit. So, and I also have my little funnel to help out. And yeah, so I'm going to now fill it up. But before I do that, I need to close up the tank. This is crucial. You need to put the tube back into the tank. Otherwise, you're just going to make a huge mess if you refill the tank. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to aim this down. And now I am going to push it into the opening. And the goal is that the arrow is as close to the gasket as you can, and make sure that gasket is over the lip of the tank so that it is secure. So I'm going to do that right now. All right, so yeah, just make sure you push down all around the edge so that it clips in over the lip of the tank so that we are good, and when we fill up, we won't have any leakage. All right, here we go. We are on the right side of the car. This is the washer fluid refill. And what we do is we push down on the left side here, and it should pop up on the right, and just move that out of the way. And now I'm going to put my funnel in, and I am going to start filling up. Make sure you don't do it too fast. You don't want to overflow. And since I removed about a gallon, this is probably going to take the whole gallon that I have here. Let me check and see, is everything going well in here? Looks like everything is good. I'm going to fill the rest now. It took just slightly less than the full gallon to reach the top. All right, I'm going to clean up any of the fluid here. Not a big deal. Now, some people have mentioned that they think that water, for example, rainwater, is leaking into the tank from this cover. So this cover may not be totally blocking the water from entering. So there may be an alternate way of protecting this. Some people are thinking maybe we should make a 3D model of this and then just make it more robust, maybe larger, and maybe a little handle on it. And then that may help with that issue if it is really an issue, because I haven't noticed any ingress of water into the system. But in any case, another thing you could do is you could put something in between here and inside the tank. I'm thinking of putting a layer of gaffer tape, and I'm going to have it so that it basically seals this whole area. And then I'm going to check after a rainstorm and see that if I open this up, see if there's any water on top of the gaffer tape. That'll be kind of an interesting experiment to see if water is actually getting inside of this chamber. So yeah, so that's one thing you could do, is you could put a layer of gaffer tape in here to seal the entry. So I'm going to do that next. I totally dried off the area so that the gaffer tape will have something to adhere to. So I am going to roughly cut off a piece like this. All right, let's take a look at that now. So I kind of inserted the gaffer tape into here and I lowered it so that it doesn't block the lid. And then I just sealed it all around the edge. And then I will definitely check to see if any water gets onto the top of this. And if that is the case, then I will definitely recommend some sort of sealant for this, maybe a replacement cover like I mentioned. So yeah, so I am going to close this and push it down. It is now in place. So yeah, so that is it. I have replaced the windshield washer fluid. I took out the old fluid, which I wasn't sure exactly what it was made of, and put in the new fluid, which is a known brand, and it is fit for winter. So if it gets cold, you won't have any issues. That is one of the problems. If you do have water in this tank under here, if you have water in there and it freezes, you will split the tank or the hose or maybe mess up some other components in there. And that is definitely a bad thing. So you want to have real washer fluid. You don't want to use plain water in that fluid tank. So just can't stress that enough. Well, that wraps up my video on the windshield washer fluid on the Fisker Ocean and how to replace it if you need to. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. If you're interested in that pump that I used, I have the link in the video description. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.